Welcome to On the Sidelines. John Luck, Zach Sylvia, and
Brad McKinnon.
That's who you
Guess
are.
who's back?
Guess who's back? Back again. Okay, that's what
Brad
we'll
to
do
the garden.
We don't need any legal issues. The legal department's already busy in the world. But let's start off with what's leading off, and that is the New England Patriots, who continue to just mow through the opposition, this time taking down the Cleveland Browns 32-13. It was a slow start for the Patriots. They led 9-7 at the half, but Drake Maye just went off in the second half, ending his day 18 of 24 passing, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, though he was sacked 6 times, 5 times alone by Myles Garrett. Brad, it's been a while since you've been on the show, but is this New England Patriots team for real after another just lights out performance?
So I do believe so. I mean, the Browns are probably one of the best defenses we've played. I know their offense is all over the place. Some teams are, that's how it can be, but their defense is real over there, and we know that. It was, like you just said, the whole first half was tight. It was good football, to watch. Yeah, it wasn't so high scoring and all that, but it was good football. A couple turnovers on Drake Maye's part, which has been very rare this year. You had one in the Raiders, it bounces off a defender's hand in the end zone. I forget the other one.
Well, it's been Stevenson that's had the fumbling issues, but Drake Maye,
that's
him
his
turning the ball over once
year.
in a while. I'm not too worried about that.
Oh, no, I'm not either. It's just, it's been a while since he even threw a pick. You know what I'm saying? He threw a pick. He had the fumble. We luckily got the fumble back, so it's not a full turnover, but you get what I'm saying there. He's definitely improved a lot. You bring in Mike Vrabel, everything's going to change just with him. You bring in Diggs. You have the wide receivers are all in tune now. Look at Boutte the past few weeks, and even Pop Douglas. Not Mac Jones. Wow. That's how long it's been since I've been here, huh? Drake Maye.
Is Bill Belichick still coaching?
Drake Maye throws a ball way behind him on a 4th and 1 last week. I forget who it was we were playing, but anyways, 4th and 1, we're in the red zone. He throws the ball, Pop goes backwards, catches it one hand, and reels it in. The wide receivers are starting to make catches, plays. Mac Hollins has been pretty good this year. I see the stats there.
Caught all 7 targets for 89 yards.
You see how he walked into the game, dressed up as a bishop, and he's literally walking like diagonal, like one would go. It was pretty cool.
Barefoot, probably.
Oh, yeah. But the Patriots are a real deal, and before the show, I did make a comment that we disagreed on, but that's very okay. I do think if Christian Gonzalez started this year, we'd be undefeated right now. I do.
We had the conversation, I think, last episode. I think you said that they would have been undefeated. I still doubt they would have won that Vegas game, but the Pittsburgh game, kind of like the Celtics we'll get to later on in overtime, the Patriots just shot themselves in the foot. Realistically, this football team could be 7-1 in the race for the top of the AFC with the Indianapolis Colts.
100%.
I agreed, but Drake Maye, in the second half, I don't know if you saw the stats, 8 of 8 with a perfect passer rating and 3 touchdowns. Drake Maye is an MVP. He's playing at MVP caliber level.
100%.
And there's another set I saw this morning. He has thrown over 200 yards and have a 100-plus passer rating in 7 straight games. Only 6 other quarterbacks have done that.
It's only 4.
And all of them have won MVP.
So I actually have what you're talking about. It came from the Patriots PR staff right after the game. Drake Maye having a passer rating of 135.8, as you heard Zach mention, his 7th straight 100-plus passer rating game. When you look at all-time NFL history, most consecutive games with a 100-plus passer rating, if Drake Maye can get to 8 against the Falcons, he'll tie Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers in 2020, Tom Brady, who did it twice in 2007 and 2010, also Peyton Manning in 2005, but Manning had 9 games in 2004, but Aaron Rodgers, 12 games with a passer rating of at least 100 back in 2011. But what that shows me is Drake Maye is continuing to grow into a true passing quarterback. And every week, he doesn't go out there and throw 375 or 400 yards. It's a modest 282, but that's all you need, especially when you have Mac Hollins catching all 7 targets, Boutte getting 3 receptions for 75 yards, Steph Diggs 3 receptions, 14 yards, Hunter Henry a touchdown reception on tight ends day. To me, what that shows is he can get the ball and distribute it to different wide receivers. And I think that could be important when you get into a potential postseason situation, because if you had Drake Maye passing only to Steph Diggs or only to Kayshon Boutte, that's easy to plan for. And I think that's what the Patriots were for the past few years. They had their number one receiver, who they would throw the ball to.
Was that Kendrick Bourne, maybe?
Yeah,
Can we
maybe.
even say who it was? I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I think for a time it was Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
But, now you actually have a true number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 wide receiver, and it's hard to plan for that if you have a pretty good secondary. One thing I think is interesting when we talk about the Patriots is the teams they're beating this season. They took down the Cleveland Browns. Prior to that, they took down the Tennessee Titans, the New Orleans Saints. The Titans and the Saints combined have a 2-14 record. You throw in the Cleveland Browns, that's what, 4-20?
Right.
Is it possible we're looking at a potential fool's gold situation here when we're talking about a 6-2 football team?
No, because then look at the game right before New Orleans. The Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, Sunday night. That was a statement win. This team has played all well around this year. Their defense has picked it up, especially in those second halves. Believe they shut them out for the second and the third quarter of the Cleveland game. But I don't think this is fool's gold. I think they are a legitimate team.
So to Zach's points, I don't think so at all. And I mean, if you look at some of these games versus bad teams, we're putting up at least 30. Yeah, I think that you got the numbers right here.
I do.
The Saints, 25, but 30, 30, 40, 21, 33. We're putting up points. We are. And as he just said, I mean, our defense it locks down. It wasn't just the Browns that we've shut down in a whole quarter. I mean, I believe even Buffalo, I think we shut down for one quarter during a game when we played them, which that's a lot, you know.
And then I believe we also shut down Tennessee the whole half after they scored the touchdown.
There's only one or two pieces I think this team needs to be a real deal Super Bowl contender, and it's no one on the offense besides one person, and then no one on the defense besides one position. And they both would go up against each other, so I'm talking linemen.
And we'll get to that in a second here. But I think I'm going to kind of differ here because you look at the Tennessee game that you guys are talking about. You look at the New Orleans game that you guys are talking about. Granted, with New Orleans, the referees
That game was
business.
it was horrible
But
for both teams.
The Patriots just have a hard time getting things going. And the same can be said for the Cleveland Browns game. But if you have a hard time getting things going offensively against the Saints, the Titans, and the Browns, what are you going to do when you get to the playoffs and you face the Indianapolis Colts potentially in a divisional round or a championship game? As we saw with the Colts, when they faced the Chargers, they just ran roughshod all over the Chargers. I mean, granted, it was the Titans again, but they ran all over the Titans. To me, there's a number of threats, I think, that could really challenge the Patriots if the Patriots get into the postseason. I mean, right now, who are you looking at the Patriots facing? Maybe a Jacksonville in the first round, in the wild card round, maybe a Chargers situation.
We're going to win the division. We're going to lose 2 games, and I'm counting that one game versus Buffalo as a loss, and then Tampa Bay. We're not losing any other games this year.
I mean,
we're making it to the playoffs with 1 through 4 seeding. We are.
I think this is a playoff team, but I think to me, it just feels like there's something to watch for. Maybe that's just PTSD with the Patriots over the past number of years.
Oh, no,
but
I get it. I do.
To me, I watched, it was a slow start against the Saints with the referees involved, slow start against the Titans, a relatively slow start against the Browns in the first half. Even the Miami game, I mean, the Patriots were up big and allowed Miami to come back, and that was even a back and forth
we only
game.
won that game because of a kickoff return,
right?
A punt return.
So, I mean, to me, I think a lot of this goes on the coaching, but that could also help you out as we get into the latter stages of the 2025 season. Quickly here in about 30 seconds, I'll start off with Zach. Should the Patriots make a deal ahead of the trade deadline coming up on November 4th?
I think they should. I think there's 2 targets that I think they need to make. One, I think your receiver, when we talked about it, they're doing great this year. I think you get one more weapon in there, even if it's a guy like Jacoby Myers. That could solidify the team, help out. The other one is defensive end.
Yep.
You get that pass rush going, this defense is going to be 10 times better.
So I know who my one target is after yesterday's game.
Myles Garrett.
Yep. How good he talked about Drake Maye and how he's going to turn this team around and all that, and he wishes he was on the other side, you know. I don't think we need to draft anything besides a right guard in at least a year or 2. I think we're pretty set up for a few years if this team can get going. If I know it's easy schedule. We all knew this before the beginning of the year. But if we get the cylinders going and covered in oil, even after we lose to Buffalo in Week 14 or whatever it is, we could have a nice. I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl, but I could see this team going to the AFC Championship.
So they don't need to make any changes for the trade deadline.
Myles Garrett, if anything.
Okay.
That's it for me. I think we need a right guard and tackle.
I think you have a better chance of Bill Belichick getting a statue this year at Gillette Stadium than Myles Garrett.
He needs to get a win first.
But I think there's a few names you can look for here. You heard Zach mention Jacoby Myers. I could see, if we're talking Cleveland Browns, them parting with anybody, maybe it's Jerome Ford, and that would fill the void that was left open from Antonio Gibson, who tore his ACL in Buffalo. Yeah. If we're going to get kind of spicy with takes here, Alvin Kamara.
Whew. I saw rumors of that. I did. That'd be smart.
And you know what? Let's go for broke here. YouTube can have a field day with the comments. Could the Patriots trade for Mark Andrews?
Why?
I mean, they
Andrews
100% would.
Andrews is in the last year of his contract.
And Baltimore has Isaiah Likely, the kid from Everett.
Exactly.
He's back, he's healthy, and he's a real threat.
One. And two, I think that gives you that true number 2 threat, because I'm not exactly sold on Austin Hooper.
Did you see him, Moss? He doesn't get thrown to a lot. He's there to be
a blocking tight
end, exactly.
But even more importantly, you would keep Buffalo away from getting Mark Andrews. And to me, I think if either the Patriots or the Bills get Mark Andrews, I think that's a path to the AFC Championship.
I don't think the Bills would go after him.
They have two good tight ends. And Knox. Knox is solid.
Yeah, Dawson Knox is solid too.
All right, so we will take a quick break here. When we come back, the NBA world was shaken to its core with another betting situation. We'll discuss that after the break.
"76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone."
October 23rd, 2025 is a big day for the NBA, as that was the day that it opened up some old wounds, as Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested after he allegedly took part in a wide-ranging scheme involving rigging poker games. And right before that, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was also arrested by the FBI, as he was also included in a separate scheme that involved rigging NBA games. There's a lot of details that go into this that I think would go longer than this segment here, but I'll kind of go through the details as we go throughout the segment. I'll start off with you, Brad. Your overall thoughts when you heard this story break that Terry Rozier was going to be arrested by the FBI, along with Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones.
I mean, the players, I was pretty surprised. Coaches, I feel like, are going to be the ones that have the most involvement with trying to do this kind of stuff. This is always going to happen, in my opinion. You're not just always going to hear about it. And I'm not saying it's always going to happen in the NBA or even the NHL or NFL, but it's always going to happen in the sports world. It's just, I mean, I love Terry Rozier, especially when he was here, and it sucks to see him get put in a bad situation. Most of the stuff, it's innocent till proven guilty, but when it comes to the sports world, I think it's pretty easy to rig stuff if you really want to, So it's just sad to see a player like that get involved. Coaches and all that, good luck to him, but I feel for Terry because he was a Boston guy.
Well, they were all Boston guys if you go back to their playing days. Chauncey Billups actually played with the Celtics with Rick Pitino as his head coach. Terry Rozier played at Louisville. Rick Pitino is his head coach, make of that what you will. And then Damon Jones also played with the Boston Celtics.
I didn't know that. That's honestly cool.
I found out from the news stories. So.
Huh. I was honestly shocked when I first saw it. I opened up Twitter, I see, Chauncey Billups gets arrested. Terry Rozier gets arrested. And I'm like, what in the world is happening? And you look more into it, it's like, what are these guys doing? Poker games, gambling. And you said it too. It's very common in the world. I wouldn't be shocked to see if there was way more people involved. I know Kevin Garnett was
34 co-conspirators in the Terry Rozier one, and I think 15 in the poker one.
So yeah, like those numbers, it's definitely a lot of players are probably going to be getting suspended. Probably could be cut from their teams. We don't know how severe it is. But if the FBI is involved, this is much more serious than we know.
So let's talk about some of the details that were released in the DOJ affidavit, also in the FBI press release. So starting off with Terry Rozier, but it was between December of 2022 and March of 2024. The game in question is March 23rd, 2023, as the Hornets, who Rozier played for, faced the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, prior to that game, according to the affidavit, Rozier informed another defendant that he would leave the game early, and the document did say that the public didn't know of the plan, so obviously insider trading comes into play there. That information allowed other co-conspirators to place fraudulent wagers based on the non-public info. There's a lot to kind of digest there, so just quick math, looking at the numbers I saw in the affidavit, I think I added up, it came out to $300,000 bet on Terry Rozier's prop line. Now, that same affidavit includes a Trailblazers game, and I believe that was before Chauncey Billups was named the head coach, where a co-conspirator told a defendant that the Trailblazers were tanking the game. Now go into Damon Jones, as he's included in this same affidavit. There were a couple of Lakers games where, and I'm quoting the affidavit here, on the morning of the February 9th game, the defendant Damon Jones sent a message to co-conspirator 9, writing, quote, "Get a big ticket on Milwaukee tonight before the information is out. Player 3 is out tonight." Now, player 3 was listed as a teammate of Jones and a player who Jones coached. All lines kind of go to LeBron James. And then quickly, we know about the details involving Chauncey Billups. There was an X-ray poker table, X-ray glasses, some secret coordination there. And according to the press release, in those poker games, victims lost at least $7 million. Damon Jones, I believe, is also included in the list of defendants in that scheme as well. Has the league been set back now? Because there's been a history. Look at Tim Donaghy. Has the league been set back from what has transpired over the past couple weeks?
I mean, it affects it, but I don't think it sets it back. Because, I mean, you just had Shohei and his translator in MLB, and look at them. They're in the World Series. People joke about the issue, if anything. You know what I'm saying? It sadly doesn't get taken as serious as it should, in my opinion, because like you brought up, I mean, it's the same thing as insider trader for the politicians. You know, it's literally the same thing.
See, I think this does set the NBA back about 5 or 10 years, and it's for this reason. This isn't an NBA matter anymore. This is a federal investigation. The FBI is looking into this. Kash Patel is having press conferences on CNN, NBC, ABC, Fox News, and all that. So now, instead of Adam Silver and the players having to answer to Malika Andrews, Chris Haynes, Shams Charania, now you're answering to Major Garrett, Aaron Katursky, like real legit news reporters here. So they're not going to let this go. These guys are going to go to court, and it's just going to continue to kind of open up the old wounds. But I also think this is going to have an effect on the NBA, because now players like Jaylen Brown, probably LeBron James, they're all going to have to answer about their thoughts on what's going on, and if anyone turns an ankle, what's going to happen? They're going to go, ooh, well, that player turned his ankle. I'm not sure if he's going to come back. There's a possibility he's phoning it in to maybe get some secret bets going. So I think there's a chance that could happen, because with the Donaghy situation, it took a few years for referees to kind of be let off the burner, but people are still going out there when Tony Brothers coaches a game or Scott Foster coaches a game. That stench is still there from that scandal, and I think this one is going to have a relatively long-lasting stench, and again, it's because it's a federal investigation and the media is not going to let that go.
Can I just say, Chauncey Billups stealing $7 million from people? Isn't the dude rich enough? Isn't he Hall of Famer? I'm pretty sure.
What does he gain from this? Man,
what is he gaining from this? What are any of these players gaining from this? You make millions of dollars every day to play a kid's game, and I don't know. It pisses me off.
Well, Shaq made that point on NBA Tip-Off on ESPN. He said, why do you need that much money? In the case of Terry Rozier, I don't think he was getting a cut of it, but he was kind of helping guys, and who knows how far that relationship goes with the other co-conspirators. There's a lot to kind of unwrap with that. But in the case of a Chauncey Billups, you hit the nail on the head. The guy's a Hall of Famer. The guy's an NBA coach. The guy made tens of millions of dollars playing for the Detroit Pistons. Why do you need more money? I mean, is life that difficult? But there's also the possibility maybe there's some avenues that he needed to pay stuff back, and going this route where you're bringing up the mafia and Italian mobs and things like that, maybe that's where he has to go. And this is just bad for the NBA because, as I mentioned, this is not going to go anywhere for a long, long time. And Adam Silver was actually asked by a bipartisan group of 6 representatives on the House Committee of Energy and Commerce to provide a statement based on the gambling scandal, and they want it by Halloween. That letter asked Silver to address 5 points, including further details about alleged betting practices in connection with NBA players, coaches, and officials, actions the league intends to take to limit inside information being used for illegal purposes, evaluate whether the league's current code of conduct for players and coaches effectively prohibits illegal activity, whether and how the NBA is reevaluating the terms of its partnerships with sports betting companies, and identify any gaps in existing regulations that allow illegal betting schemes to occur. Now, the league did investigate Rozier a couple years ago, but that turned out to be nothing. But obviously, the FBI found something, and Adam Silver said the FBI just has far more reach than the NBA can in terms of investigating.
100%.
So in about a minute here, for all of us, what can be done to put a stop to this and hopefully turn the corner in this gambling scandal?
I think it's tough to say you can put a stop to this whole thing because gambling has been around for ages. You can't just put a pin in it and just be like, we're done. You can't do it anymore. It doesn't matter. People are still going to do it. People who commit crimes are just going to still commit crimes. It happens. You're not just going to be able to stop gambling right away. It needs to be a long, thought-out process. And all that.
I don't see this ever ending, like he just said. It's an addiction. Gambling is an addiction. And as I said, as he was talking about the money, some people get millions and they say this isn't enough. I need more, I need more, I need more. Then who knows, maybe you get in a hole. You're 14 million in a hole, but you have 2 jerseys that are worth 16 million and you go to the Italian mob. Who knows? It's never going to stop. It isn't. And I mean, the fact that the FBI is investigating that's good. It is. I'm not going to act like it's not,
right.
But I truly don't think it's going to set the league back as much as you do. I hope it doesn't. I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but I mean, even in the NHL, there was just a big allegation for sexual stuff, and we already have a goalie being a goalie again, you know? So that's a bigger deal in my eyes than gambling, stuff like that,
right.
And the NHL's almost already forgot about it.
So just sticking with the NBA here,
Yes.
I think there's a couple avenues you can go down. If you're Adam Silver, you need to get the Players Association to coordinate this, but if your name gets brought up in any sort of gambling scandal, you're off the court indefinitely, which I think that was the case with Terry Rozier. If you're found guilty of being, involved in a scheme like this, maybe not even directly, just providing insider trading, you're out. Another thing you can do, and I think this would make that bipartisan group of representatives happy, is include them in. And what I mean by that is you need some type of task force of 9 people to stop this type of situation, because this is going to happen again in the NBA, MLB, NFL, even the NHL. We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. This is going to happen again. But what you can do, get a representative, a retired player from the NFL, MLB, NBA, and NHL. I think that's all 4. But then on the other side, you get 2 betting experts, then you get 2 doctors, and you have someone that on the federal side they appoint to the commission. And every night you're going to have them watching different situations and see if there's any sort of
Foul
situation like that. Yeah. I mean, Terry Rozier watching that game, it didn't look like he did much to turn the ankle. So that committee could go ahead and watch it. The doctors could provide their input. The betting experts could provide their input. And you had the federal reach that could go a little deeper than what the NBA could. This is going to be something to watch here for a long time. And since this is now federally investigated, I think it is going to be a long time that we have this type of thing at the forefront of sports. And it just sucks because this took place 2 days after an insane game between the Rockets and the Thunder that went to double overtime. This was around I think the same time that the Thunder came off playing 2 double overtime games. Victor Wembanyama went off on the Mavericks, but instead we're here talking about Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, basically throwing it all away, and Damon Jones as well. And Damon Jones potentially taking down a player like LeBron James a little bit in terms of popularity. And I do just want to say one thing. It should be worth noting LeBron James is in a number of DraftKings commercials. So when we're talking about gambling, we're talking about kind of the backroom bookie deals. DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesar Sportsbook, a lot of them are on the up and up. So it seems like this type of gambling was done maybe more on the backdoor markets, but a lot has to be discovered before we can go too much further with that. We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll quickly discuss the Boston Red Sox, and could Jarren Duran still be a member of this team when we get to opening day 2026?
JEA Promotions and new World Wrestling Extreme returns to Bridgewater Vets Club, 85 Cottage Street, Cage. Huge double main event inside a steel cage. Reigning champion, Sunset, Steven Garcia, defends against Mr. DLB, Gus De La Vega. Number 1 contender for the Open Weight Championship. The real main event. Q Nation's very own. The Fly is in the room. Finite Noriega tries to dethrone the Open Weight champ, the humble one, Dino Constantino. The tag team titles are up for grabs as the champions, the Jockeys, look to hang on to the titles against the bad boys of New Bedford, the Hoods. The women's championship is on the line. Will the third time be the last time for challenger, the bad guy, Roxanne Fury? Does the champ, the devilish angel, Daje Simone, have what it takes to put out Fury's fire? Join us as we host the Bridgewater Badgers Youth Football for an exciting night of non-stop extreme professional wrestling. For more ticket information, visit nwwextreme.com. Let's get extreme.
We're about at Halloween, but what better time to talk about the Boston Red Sox? Former MLB general manager Jim Boutte kind of dropped a subtle hint that the Red Sox could be shopping one of their star outfielders. He had this quote a few days ago saying, "I'm not sure I understand why the Red Sox keep listening to offers for Duran, outside of the fact they envision their future outfield as Abreu, Rafaela, and Anthony. Why not keep Duran for DH, or better yet, why not let all 4 outfielders rotate between the outfield and DH? Regardless, Duran's name keeps coming up in trade rumors, and it now sounds like the Red Sox will move on from him this winter." Bowden suggests the Phillies, the Dodgers, Tigers, Guardians, Rangers as teams that he could get traded to. Will Jarren Duran be a Red Sox in 2026?
I believe he will. I do. I mean, Bregman won't be back. We're going to have some money. I think we'll find someone else, if anything. I don't think we remove him. I think he is one of the few players you would want to kind of build around, in my opinion. We have some young guys too, but I think he's the middle-aged guy that you want to keep around, be the life in the club room, you know. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't doubt, be surprised if they do trade him, but I think he's going to be here next winter. I do. I think it's dumb.
I agree with him. I think he'll be here for the next opening day. If he does get traded, if he goes to the Dodgers, this league is we're done. We're done for. This league is cooked, as the kids say.
As the kids say, you're also a kid.
But regardless, if he is, I believe, a piece to this team that can help, go the distance, help go farther, I think having him play a DH would be a great asset, because you said you get an Anthony back, who's a star outfielder. He's up and coming. Rafaela, who's, I believe, in the Golden Glove, up there. And then Abreu, who we've seen has a cannon for an arm from the outfield. I believe those 3 definitely will be the starters. And I think Duran being a DH, or you have that guy who can just get to the base, who can hit the ball and just be able to run multiple bases at once. I believe he led the league in doubles, if I'm not wrong.
We'll take a break here. You can stick around for overtime on the BTV YouTube page. Yeah, pains me to say this. We'll talk about the Boston Celtics. Maybe they'll get a win.
Oh, we won a championship 2 years ago.
You know what? We're not used to being at the Bruins level there.
Game-changing play. Pulls up, turnaround to win it. Got it! Welcome back to the madness.
Bet it all on me.
On the sidelines, overtime coming at you. John, Zach, you're still sticking around.
I guess so. We're not talking about the Bruins, but I'm still here, huh?
No, we're going to talk about the other team that has a bunch of space taken up in the Garden Rafters. That is Boston Celtics, and it appears it'll be a little long before they put another banner up, as they are 0-3 to start the season for the first time since 2013-2014. Looking at the first 3 games, the opener against the Philadelphia 76ers, rookie VJ Edgecombe went off for a ridiculous game. 34 points, 5 of 13 from three-point land. Tyrese Maxey had 40 points of his own and was 7 of 9 from distance. But Peyton Pritchard missed 2 potential game-winning shots at the buzzer. A Friday night in New York in Madison Square Garden, the Celtics got beaten by the Knicks. New York had 21 offensive rebounds, but the story of the game was the second quarter, where the Celtics got outscored 42-18. Against the Pistons, Boston lost that game as well. The Pistons were plus 16 in rebounds and had 18 offensive boards. The Celtics have gone between 10 and 12 players deep on their bench in the first 3 games. I'll kind of give my takes after you guys, but we're starting off with Zach. What's your take on the Celtics through the first 3 games of the season?
These first few games prove that Jason Tatum was such a valuable player to them. Not having him, that extra offensive scoring, especially to take the load off of guys like Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Peyton Pritchard. Missing him in these first 3 games is really hurting you. Jaylen Brown has done pretty well relative scoring-wise, 25, 23, in this past game, 41. Mm-hmm. But it's Derek White. He's a great scorer, but is he that same? He's not on that same level as Jason Tatum would be.
So, as you just said, obviously Jason Tatum's going to be a big piece. My biggest thing with the Celtics is they're beating themselves, I think. And he says we're missing Jason Tatum. I think we're missing Al Horford a lot right now with the rebounds. As you just said, plenty of offensive rebounds. The Pistons got, et cetera, et cetera. We're not getting the rebounds offensively or defensively like we would if Al was playing around there. You know, obviously, Al, you got your ring with us. You're close to retirement. Go chase another one somewhere else if you want. But
the Golden State.
I think we're missing him more than I thought we would be.
At this point,
it's early still.
I would even rather have Luke Cornett here.
Yeah,
that should tell you how I feel. After the last couple seasons, I hated on Luke Cornett, but to me, this Celtics team could be 3-0 if you take out that second quarter or close the gap, even 42-23. The Celtics could get a win against the Knicks. They got to within single digits in the fourth quarter thanks to Ugo Gonzalez. The opener against Philadelphia, Peyton Pritchard, for some reason, decided to turn into Marcus Smart and play hero ball at the end of that game. Against the Pistons, there's no way you should give up 18 offensive boards to a team like Detroit. There's no way you should be out-rebounded by 16. To me, this goes deeper than looking for a Jason Tatum, an Al Horford, a Kristaps Porzingis. To me, this comes down to coaching. You gave Joe Mazzulla the keys to a Lamborghini to drive right out of the lot when he took over this team a few years ago. There's no way in hell Joe Mazzulla couldn't have coached this team to anything short of an Eastern Conference Finals. Now, Joe Mazzulla is being left with actually having to coach and figure out different rotations. His answer to that is by doing hockey line changes in the first quarter and going to players like Hugo Gonzalez, Jordan Walsh, insert player X here. I bet if you give Joe Mazzulla a whiteboard to write down every player on the Celtics roster right now, I don't think he could do it. And to me, this comes down to execution. Joe Mazzulla could not coach end-of-game situations even with Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford on the floor. His answer was give the ball to Jason Tatum, get into ISO, and hope to God Jason Tatum hits a game-winning three, which I think he's done twice. Joe Mazzulla is a focal point to look at here, and if he doesn't get to the point that he goes to Kung Fu Ninja levels here and starts, taking down opposition in MMA fights, he's just going to get fired, I think, at some point, because a lot of this is coaching. You don't drop a play for Peyton Pritchard to get the ball twice. If Peyton Pritchard goes against the coach's plan and does hero ball, then you know what? You need to pull him aside, show him what happened, bench him for the first half of the next game. At this point, this is just Joe Mazzulla throwing stuff out there and hoping something sticks. And as a Celtics fan, it's maddening to see because this has gone back even to the championship year. There were instances where Joe Mazzulla couldn't coach the team in an end-of-game situation.
There were plenty of those, for sure. I will say you are a Celtics fan, all right? Because, last year and the year before when we're talking about the Bruins, and I just acted like how you acted,
Yep.
and you just sat there like, oh, yeah. Trust me, I get the Bruins suck right now. We're supposed to for a year.
Yeah.
The Celtics aren't supposed to be that bad with an 0-3 start, all right?
No, and that's the maddening thing.
Probably going to be 0-4, honestly, after tonight.
Yeah, where do you look and see a win? We're recording this night of the Pelicans game. They could win that game. I think they'll win that game. But then you come back to the Garden, you face Cleveland at home, then you go to Philadelphia on a Friday night, and if Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe have anything close to that, Philly's going to wipe the floor with you on Amazon Prime. So congratulations there. But it's just frustrating because this team right now could be 3-0 if they got their heads out of their backsides and actually had a coach that could coach them on defense and how to rebound the ball, box out a defender. It just comes down to the fundamentals of basketball. If you get a rebound, you see the ball come off the rim, you box out. Not a three-point shot, it bounces around, and then another guy comes up and dunks it. That's what the Celtics are giving up right now in some of these possessions, and it's just maddening to watch because even without Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, this team has the talent to be in a potential playoff spot.
Oh, they're a low seed all day.
Yeah.
5 through 8, they should be without Tatum.
I will put on kind of what you were saying. For Joe Mazzulla, if they don't make the playoffs this year, I would 100% agree with you that he will probably be fired.
Oh, he will be. 100%.
If he cannot do it without their best player, he will be gone. I love Joe Mazzulla. I like him. I know you don't. I like his personality a lot.
I think he's too much of a player's coach.
He's fake Rambo.
He's fake what?
Fake Rambo.
You seen Rambo?
I haven't.
Wow.
But from what I've seen on movie posters, he want to be fake Rambo. Jaylen Brown, he's, of course, the guy that a lot of people are expecting to step up. Is Jaylen Brown a true number one leader on the Celtics this season?
Honestly, I do think he is because, there's a reason he won Eastern Conference MVP, Finals MVP. There's a reason he was a player at such a caliber level. Problem is, right now, he's still hurting from last year and in the preseason. He's not 100%, and he's playing these games at maybe 70 to 65% at the best. So he's playing hurt most nights, and you just can't have that with your best player.
He's going to have to be no matter what. He is. Even if you don't think he is, he's going to have to be. And any other team, I think he could be any other team's number one. But like he just said, who won the Eastern Conference Finals the year? The trophy, he did, and then MVP, who won that too. He won them both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Tatum didn't win the Finals, right?
Nope.
He can be clutch. I mean, do you remember Game 2 versus the Pacers that year with that corner shot on the buzzer beater to send us to overtime? He can be the clutch guy. I mean, hopefully, instead of Pritchard being the hero at the end of these games, he can be there.
The ball should have gone to Brown
Yeah,
at the end of the Sixers game.
100%. I like Peyton Pritchard, but we all know that ball
I think it should have gone to Derek White, honestly, because you're going to have
Derek White or Brown over
but
Pritchard.
my thing is, too, like, because Brown's now their number one guy, teams are going to be focused on him more and put their best defender on him. So guys like White and Pritchard both have to step up.
And finally here for the Celtics talk, a player to watch out for on the Celtics this season that you can think of besides Jaylen Brown?
What, to show up?
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be Peyton Pritchard. He won the sixth man last year. Hopefully he can show that he is a sixth man with starting time, you know.
Derek White, I think it's plain and simple. It's your second best player on that team. He can shoot the ball lights out. We've seen him put up 40 in games, and he's one of the best defenders in the league.
So that is a good pick too. I'm just going to say I only picked Peyton because we need, to back your point you just made a second ago, you need Peyton and White to step up so they don't know who to defend with their best defender. You know, when JT and JB are out there, the best defender is usually on JT. So JB or White get the easier look. You know, we need the third guy, in my opinion, right now to step up more than the second guy.
So I think there's a couple players to watch out for. And if Joe Mazzulla knows how to coach, then maybe he'll put these players on the floor for more than 9 minutes in a game. One player is Luka Garza. He took a hard hit in the Philadelphia game, and he was out for the Knicks game with a concussion. So I can't fault Luka for that. But Chris Boutte is another player I think the Celtics could use more. He's a great stretch for spot big, a number 5 guy on the court. And yeah, he's not going to get every rebound, but I think offensively and defensively, he gives you kind of that dose that the Celtics need to maybe, keep things close. Boutte does have a fairly long length, so I think if you put him, right around the free throw line defensively, he can get some of those rebounds that in a game against the Knicks where it went from the rim to the 3-point line, Boutte could just reach back and get it. And so I think Boutte is a guy that really bears watching for Celtics fans this season. Finally here, before we get to our picks, we're going to go ahead and rank a few things in the world of sports, maybe Halloween too. Quickly here, a game that ranks. We'll start with Brad. Your top 5 NFL teams through 8 weeks.
Colts, number 1. Tampa Bay, number 2. Oh, don't worry. I see.
I was going to say, we played this game before.
No. 3. Trying to go fast here. I'm going to say Buffalo at 3.
Okay.
3 Eagles, 4 Buffalo, 5 Patriots.
Patriots are top 5, all right.
For me, I'm going to go Lions at number 1.
I did disrespect them. I didn't put them in mine.
I'm going to go Colts at the 2 spot. I'm also going to put the Eagles at 3. I'm trying to think of records here. I'm going to put Denver at 4 because Denver's defense is legitimate. And trust me, I love the Patriots. I don't know if they're top 5 just yet, but Tampa Bay.
Can I knock out Buffalo and put the Lions at 4 and Patriots still at 5?
As long as it's around the Great Lakes, we'll allow that.
All right.
I feel like this is Steven's A-list. We'll just start ripping apart the list. So I'll go backwards. Number 5, I had the Seattle Seahawks. That passing game that they've had, and the equal play between the rushing attack with a player like a Zach Charbonnet, also Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Sam Darnold just continues to play pretty well out west. To me, a lot of people I think are sleeping on the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4, I had the Patriots. It kind of goes against what I was saying earlier about the fool's gold situation, but I mean, until they prove otherwise, the Patriots are playing as a top 5 team in the NFL, offensively, defensively, and special teams. I mean, a player like Marcus Jones has truly been something to withhold.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Some of his stops on defense, whew.
Unbelievable.
Number 3, I had the Denver Broncos because their depth has been ridiculous. I mean, R.J. Harvey went off for, 3 touchdowns? At least 2 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys. Number 2, I had the Indianapolis Colts. Much like Denver's rushing attack, Indianapolis has been ridiculous. Jonathan Taylor, he he was a shovel pass away from being the first NFL running back to have 3 straight games with 3 rushing touchdowns. So I have Indianapolis number 2. And number 1, we talked about this a few weeks ago, Tampa Bay is kind of like that cockroach of a team. Like, you think you have them down and out, but they won't stay down. They won't get taken out.
No.
So to me, I have Tampa Bay as my number 1 team. Top 5 NFL MVP candidates.
This is no bias, but the way that he's been playing, it's Drake Maye, I think, is the number 1 guy for me. You can shake your head no, but
he's my number 2, so I agree. He's had 2 games with 2 halves that have been perfect passer ratings.
These last couple of weeks, he has been playing better than who was originally my top MVP candidate, Baker Mayfield, who's now my number 2. My number 3 is probably the only non-quarterback on this list, and that's Jonathan Taylor. Unbelievable season so far. I believe he has, 14 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns on the year? Maybe more.
Close to that, yeah.
Number 4, just because he is who he is, Patrick Mahomes. And then number 5, I got to think about this one. Go to you while I think about my number 5.
I bet our 5s will be the same. So number 1, Jonathan Taylor, so far from me. All right. Number 2, Drake Maye. Number 3, Danny Jones. Very, 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 never thought I'd say it, but Danny Jones for number 3. Number 4, same as him. You got to put Pat Mahomes up there. As much as their offense is falling apart, I'm going to have him at 4. Then number 5, Barkley.
All right, so
that's an interesting one.
You come up with number 5 yet?
Yeah, I'm going to also put Indiana Jones up there at 5.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, so I think we kind of are all on the same, wavelength here. Number 5, I have Patrick Mahomes because now with Rashee Rice back, I think he's just going to light things up offensively. Number 4, Daniel Jones. You have to give respect when it's deserved. Daniel Jones has been something to withhold. Number 3, I have Baker Mayfield. Again, just that quarterback that won't stay down. Number 2, I'm kind of surprised nobody brought this up. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I'd put him honestly at 6.
And then number 1, I have Jonathan Taylor. Again, just record-setting type of running back.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5 NBA championship hopefuls. I'll start off with this one. Number 5, I have the Denver Nuggets because when you have Jokic and Murray, you're always going to be in a top 5 situation. Number 4, Golden State, much like with Denver. This appears to be that last true open window type of season for the Warriors. Number 3 is going to be a surprise, the Detroit Pistons. They shocked a lot of people last year, and I think now that they know what it takes to get into the playoffs and stay in the playoffs, I think the Pistons have a good chance at winning the NBA championship. Number 2, I was watching that game on Amazon Prime, Celtics-Knicks. And I was watching the Knicks, and I said, that's a good team. That's a pretty good team. I think they need a little bit of depth inside, but once Mitchell Robinson comes back, there were a couple possessions. The ball didn't actually hit the floor, and they got points out of that. And number 1, OKC, gotta give credit where it's deserved. They're the champions, so I think they have a great chance at repeating. First time since 2018, 2019, I think. What do you got?
So at my number 5, and it's my only team in the East, it's the Knicks. I think they're the best team in the East. I don't think it's particularly close. Even with Cleveland, we know about Cleveland and their history in the playoffs. They're choke artists. They can't make it past the second round. Number 4, for me, honestly, it's going to be the Houston Rockets. I think that's a very talented team, very young, tall team, obviously.
Interesting team.
Yes, very much indeed. Number 3 for me, it's going to be Golden State. As much as I love Golden State, is Stephen Curry. He's not getting any younger, and this team is definitely loaded up with a full year of Jimmy Butler now. Number 2, Denver. I'm going to give you one player, and it's Nikola Jokic. That's my only reason. And then OKC is my number 1.
All right, so number 1 for me is going to be Steph Curry. I'd love to see him solidify himself a little bit more. And I shouldn't have said Steph Curry because Jimmy Butler is there now too. I've always liked Jimmy Butler. I think he deserves one, I too. Just like I always like Paul George, but he'll never get one either. See, number 2, probably have to be the Knicks. As much as I hate New York teams. You have to being from Boston, especially when they beat us last year, and you see all these videos of their fans outside rubbing it in our face, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'd put them at 2. 3 is going to be OKC to do it again. I didn't think of this one before the game, if you couldn't
Oh,
tell.
good. You're the hockey guy, so.
I know. No, but I still pay attention enough to basketball. I'll put us at 5 just because the word is hopeful.
You have no special Lucky Charms or something?
We said hopeful.
I said hopeful, not like slam your head on the floor hopeful.
Nuggets at 4. Put the Nuggets at 4 too.
And just quickly here for time purposes, I'll give my top 5 for this next one, and you guys can rip it apart Steven's A-list style. Top 5 Halloween candy. So number 5, I got Hershey's Crackle / Crunch. Number 4, Hershey's Cookies and Cream. Number 3, Peanut Butter M&Ms. Number 2, Twix. And number 1, Reese's. Of course, this is in the spirit of Halloween. So that's my top 5. Reese's number 1.
All chocolate?
Number 1, for sure, I agree with.
All right.
I can't agree because I'm not a chocolate guy.
Me neither. But the thing with all these is it's chocolate, but there's something with it. So Reese's, obviously, chocolate peanut butter, but there's also white chocolate Reese's. Twix, it's more caramel and cookie than chocolate. But
You forgot about a Kit Kat bar. Pretty upset. There's
I
no
did
Kit
not
Kat
forget
on
about
there.
I didn't forget about Kit Kat bar.
Not even Skittles?
Oh, all right, Skittles is a good one, but what would be in yours since you don't like candy that much?
I really like candy.
Well, the
I just-
chocolate,
I'm
I
not
should
into
say.
Chocolate.
Yeah, I just need
You want some nerds in there or something? What are you looking for?
Not really nerds. It's probably more like, personally, I love Twizzlers.
Yeah.
Swedish fish.
No, those are good.
Ooh, the
All right.
Peel Part Twizzlers, make it last forever.
Exactly. Those ones. As I said, Skittles. Underrated one, Smarties. I love Smarties.
Never had Smarties.
Smarties are good.
I've had
I love
those. I
Smarties.
like those.
Oh, actually, isn't that
The twist
the
thing
Swiss
one,
with
yeah.
the
Oh,
different
yeah, I love
color,
those things.
like
Yeah.
old circle Pez looking
Oh,
thing.
yeah, I
And-
know. I've had those.
Starburst.
All right, well, we're going to keep talking about candy during the break. But when we come back, we will preview Week 9 coming up, including the New England Patriots and Atlanta Falcons, and a Super Bowl 51 rematch, though nobody's actually playing in the game that was in Super Bowl 51.
For a trick or treat, witches cackled in.
New England Sports, JEA Promotions, and New World Wrestling Extreme returns to Bridgewater Vets Club, 85 Cottage Street, Cage. Huge double main event inside a steel cage. Reigning champion, Sunset, Steven Garcia, defends against Mr. DLB, Gus De La Vega. Number 1 contender for the Open Weight Championship, the real main event. Q Nation's very own, the Fly is in the room. Finite Noriega tries to dethrone the open weight champ, the humble one, Dino Constantino. The tag team titles are up for grabs as the champions, the Juckets, look to hang on to the titles against the bad boys of New Bedford, the Hoods. The women's championship is on the line. Will the third time be the last time for challenger, the bad guy, Roxanne Fury? Does the champ, the devilish angel, Daje Simone, have what it takes to put out Fury's fire? Join us as we host the Bridgewater Badgers Youth Football for an exciting night of non-stop extreme professional wrestling. For more ticket information, visit nwwextreme.com. Let's get extreme.
So Week 8 was kind of a dud in terms of excitement, except for the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals. But we'll see what.
It was a 1
That was the
point
weirdest game
yeah.
ever.
But I mean, it was the only game that was like inside of 20 points.
Take it for the Bengals to lose to the worst team in the NFL.
But anyways, let's start off with our upcoming week picks here. We'll start off with Carolina and Green Bay. Green Bay being favored by 12.5 points for entertainment purposes only.
That's it. Them by 15 points for crying out loud. Look what they just did to the Cow. Who'd they play last night?
The Pittsburgh
Steelers. Yeah. A lot better of a team than Carolina.
20 straight completions for Jordan Love.
Yeah, it's Green Bay. It's not
By
going to
2
be
touchdowns.
particularly close.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Green Bay. I don't know if I would take the points, though. Carolina's been that team that is either really, really good are really, really bad.
How many other teams have been like that this year?
But
Just about half of them.
To me, I think if Bryce Young comes back and he played for the Panthers and he's close to 100%, I think that just adds a whole different element into the game. And I think that's what the Lions are banking on, keeping Bryce Young out for another week.
It's still a 2-possession game.
Kansas City, Buffalo, really the game of the upcoming week in the NFL.
Kansas City is going to continue to own Buffalo, and I think they're going to win again this week. I'm going to take KC.
I'm going to be devil's advocate because Buffalo is going to continue to own them in the regular season.
Oh, that's right. It's true.
I'm going to take Kansas City because they fell behind the 8 ball, at the start of the season, but now with Rashee Rice back, to me, I think they have to pick up some ground, and I think they're going to approach this like a playoff game when they're on the road.
Are they at Buffalo?
They are.
Oh, you know what? I'm changing my answer
Buffalo.
then. I'm going to take Buffalo.
I'll take Buffalo as well. So clean sweep here. Seattle and the Washington Commanders. Seahawks favored by 3.5 points. And I will take the Seattle Seahawks because Jaden Daniels has been an injury issue really all season long, as has Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin as well. There's just a lot of injuries to worry about on the Commanders side. Seattle, I think they're coming off of a bye, so with that, I'll take the Seahawks.
Where are they playing?
They are playing in Washington, D.C.
All right, then I think Washington might win it.
I should have really thrown you off and just said Washington. See what happens. Seattle, Washington, or Washington?
Well, if you said Washington, I would have said, hey, all right, Seattle's going to win because that's...
Gotta throw some curveballs.
I'm going to take Seattle. That Commanders defense is not going to be able to stop Jackson Smith and Jigba. Not a chance.
No, he can't. Indianapolis and Pittsburgh. What do you got?
Indy, 8-1.
Colts are favored by 3.
I'm also going to take Indy. I don't think Pittsburgh's good enough to beat them. I think Jonathan Taylor rushes for 4 touchdowns.
Probably.
They don't have a great rushing defense. Look at the numbers.
You know what?
They can force fumbles on the 1-yard line, though.
Only if it's Ramondre Stevenson.
You know what? In the words of somebody I know, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I will take the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'd love to see that as a Patriots
I would
fan.
love to
I
as
just
well,
don't think
because
it's
if we
gonna
win the
happen.
next week, we're the number 1 seed, I believe, right?
We would be.
So I'll take the Steelers.
Well, Denver might be ahead of us with the tiebreaker.
No,
somehow.
we're ahead of
No,
Denver
we
right
are.
now.
All
We're
right.
number 2 right now.
Minnesota and Detroit, the Lions favored by 8.5.
I'm going to take the guys who I predicted to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and that's the Lions.
You have them all the way, too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think
Lions.
I took the Miami Dolphins as my AFC team. I
I took the Ravens.
Yeah.
No, the Dolphins, 100%. I mean, the Dolphins. The Detroit
Vikings.
Lions, 100% should come out of the East. I mean, the West. I think they will beat the Eagles. I'm saying the conference.
Oh.
The NFC.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking out here, kind of talking hockey terms.
All right, so I'm going to take the Detroit Lions as well. They're another team coming off the bye, and this game is in Detroit. And finally, Atlanta taking on New England. The Patriots favored by 5.5 points. I think when we talk about Carolina being a true hot and cold team, Atlanta's worse.
They are the hot and cold team.
Like Atlanta
They
can
are.
keep things close with the Buffalo Bills and beat the Bills, but then they go out and look like idiots
40
against
to
the
nothing
Miami
or
Dolphins.
whatever the week after.
I think this is going to be a little closer than the Browns game, but I still have the Patriots winning by, I'd go 10 points.
We're winning at least by a possession. And it's not a field goal. It's a touchdown plus.
They're probably going to be going to this game without Drake London again and with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. I don't know about you guys in the one possession. I don't think this is going to be close. I think they're going to win by 30.
Well, I hope they do because it's another state.
I think this is going to be a beatdown. If Miami can put up 34 points on them, New England can put up way more than that.
And that would just set up a really dramatic matchup, I think, coming up the next week because it would be the Patriots and the Bucs.
Which
in
should be
Kansas.
flexed to Sunday Night Football.
It won't be.
It should. It would be a great.
That or the Buffalo game needs to be 4
So-
o'clock. I'm sorry. I'm sick of these 1 o'clock games for the Patriots who...
They only have 2 more primetime games
So
after this.
TV-wise, just quickly before we go, TV-wise, I was listening to Zolak and Bertrand, and obviously Zolak has a little bit of an in with the Patriots, but that game's not getting flexed from 1 o'clock, the Bucs game, because the Patriots play Thursday Night Football against the Jets. So obviously, if you move the game to 4 o'clock, that's still 3 hours less, but I don't know why that would make a difference. But you obviously can't move it to a Sunday night or a Monday night game. So that's why. But, there's still time for the Patriots to get flexed around. The Dolphins have like 3
I mean,
primetime
that
games.
Buffalo Bills game should
Oh, yeah.
be at least a 4 o'clock game. You know.
Sleeping a little bit on a Sunday?
I mean, when the 1 o'clock games are on, I got the Patriots on the big screen, but I got Red Zone on the other one, watching all the other stuff. I'd rather have the Patriots on the big screen watching 2 other games, and probably half the time the Patriots on the other one because we'll be in the Red Zone.
Exactly.
You know?
All right, well, that's our viewing habits. You can watch the commercial on the side of Red Zone. We can get into that another day again.
Travion Henderson's going to have 3 touchdowns too. Just want to put that out there.
All right.
I'm praying for it.
All right, that's it. Show over. For Brad, for Zach, I'm John. Thanks for watching.
Have a good one.